ocean is the tides, the river the landscape, the flower is the sun. Our time has come. Flow, river, flow freely through the space, that's all. Oh, great river, sing a song in our hearts. Flow, river, flow freely through the space, that's all. Oh, great river, sing a song.
That's a good sign if Raksha is on. She's had challenges lately.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, 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 friend.
Can you hear me? I'm not sure now what's going on. Yes?
Yes, can hear you. Hello,
Oh,
Raksha.
good.
Hi,
Hi,
nice to meet you as
hi.
well.
Yeah.
In
I can
person,
see.
I see her.
You see me? Oh, that's good. Hello. Sorry, it's a bit dark in this room.
Oh, me too. Always too
Uh,
long.
yeah. Just going to put this phone down for a second. I need to just get a bit warmer. Okay.
Good.
We can do the fire breath.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Would you like to guide it for us?
Well, actually, it's part of a 5 breath combination. But if you're feeling chilly, you know what a dragon is, right? It has fire
Yeah,
that comes out of its nostrils,
yeah.
curling orange and yellow flames. You imagine becoming a dragon instantaneously and breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose.
Sorry, you breathe in through the
In through
mouth
your
and out
mouth
through
and
your
out
nose.
through your nose.
In through your mouth. Okay. Hmm. Oh.
So you have to take a deep breath when you breathe in, so you have a little sustained nostril exhalation
That's
so that you,
amazing. That's the opposite of what we usually do in the practice here, and that's
Oh, it
useful.
feels weird, hey?
it does feel weird because you're not
But
used to doing it.
if I do
That's
it
right.
like this, then it looks like I've got flames coming out my nose.
We can see it. We can see it.
I have stuff that's blocked in my nose coming out.
Well, there you go. There, you see, there is always the case where it may not be easy to do. If
It
you've
does
got
warm.
sinus
Yeah, and
issues,
I've got a cold. I have a chest
a,
throat
vi-
thing.
a
Mm,
virus.
You can try.
mm.
I've also got a nose thing, but we can try. Be nice.
So there's a breath for earth, air, water, and fire. So if
Mm.
you do them all, in a row with a little bit of imagery and kind of a meditative, closing your eyes type situation, it makes a wonderful series. And then you can take it where America usually brings us into outer space.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a wonderful technique from heart lock-in technique that has the taking perspective from the heart out into outer space and back in with the anchoring of gratitude.
Because you can always come back to a tree as well.
Yeah, deepen the listening into to that, to the tree. Beautiful.
Mm.
I
I think,
had yes.
I think Gail was on one of the calls when we did that as part of the little mini, the seminar thing.
Mm. So that is the fire breath, eh?
Yeah, so your breath, Marika, would be the air breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Okay.
And then earth was breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And air was in through the mouth and out through the mouth. And then any form of combination of them you would use to go out into the ether, into outer space. It's really powerful if you do the visualization with it as well.
Wow. So is it water is in through the mouth, out through the mouth?
I always have to get my notes.
Water is through the nose.
Yes.
And out through
And
the
out
mouth,
through the
releasing.
mouth.
The earth was in through the nose and out through the nose. And then the dragon breath, as Mary described, in through the mouth, out through the nose. And then air was in through the mouth and out through the mouth.
Okay, so it's water then.
Water is releasing.
The Ming Pang hum.
Yeah.
I like to call it the Ming Pang hum because that's where I learned that sounding was from the Qigong master Ming Pang. And he healed many people, and he never marketed the healing center that he had. It just was word of mouth. Because people who were at the end of their life couldn't find medical care, came to him and often got healed or at least died in a very, not a terrible, painful way, because they came and he taught them the practices of Qigong. And in my research into him, I found this recording of him doing that kind of humming. And I could just imagine that being the sounding that he would do over patients and people as well, and most likely teach them to do with the practices that they're practicing, the movements and that too. You got the notes, Mary. I love this.
My notes. Yeah.
These are very useful.
So Gail, have you been working with that?
I've done it 2 or 3 times. I need to incorporate it into my daily routine so it becomes a habit. But yeah, very powerful. Wow. Especially as I'm really into dragons.
It just reminds me of this video I watched today, which was really beautiful, showing this different dimensions of being. I will share it in the group, but I can share it here, I think, as well. And it spoke about the first step being the dragon, where the kid sees the dog as the dragon and everything is interchangeable. And it just reminded me also of my own son, who we have a husky wolf, and how she's like a dragon, and how we imagine it to be, I don't know, maybe somebody finds some deep, meaningful relation with that. I'm sharing the YouTube in the chat. If anybody is curious to save it and watch it later. I'd love to think that these elemental breaths are useful. You can definitely practice them regularly and get that flow. So I can feel into that a little bit. Mary's just gone off screen, but when she comes back, she can clarify if that's correct. Should we try a little bit of that?
Yeah, let Mary lead it.
That would be best. I just had this song in my mind before we came. which one was it now, of John Lennon that we listened to? It was Imagine, and there was Let It
Love
Be.
is all.
Love is all we need. Yeah.
Love is all we need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was singing that for days after that
Yes.
and seeing it everywhere.
Absolutely.
I went and got my Beatle compilation old CD that I bought at Tears and listened to it as well. But I couldn't find those songs on there, unfortunately. It was Sergeant Pepper's. It was Sergeant Pepper. Lonely Heart Club Band, that CD.
You need the whole retrospective on one long, some kind of library recording thing that we can. Well, you've got YouTube
playlist,
right? Yeah, you got a playlist, but you can go to YouTube and just click anything and get it. So that's pretty much like a playlist if you have connection, Wi-Fi or something, internet.
Sorry.
Oh, shame. Raksha.
That's me. Sorry, it's my throat and my chest. It's just is a bit crap. Sorry.
Sorry, no.
I could mute myself if you like. I obviously will when we start, but
yeah, but that's fine. You're welcome as you are. We're chatting and moving through. It's nice to be in circle.
Okay.
Sure. Have you found the notes, Mary?
Yeah.
Love to hear if we were correct with Gail was right with the breaths, and would you like to maybe lead a short grounding through the different elemental breaths for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the main thing to do would be to get in a comfortable place where you can feel supported by the surface that you're in connection with. And if you put your feet below you, so they're the soles of your feet are in direct line of the earth energy coming up.
Do that.
And I'm going to add a little thing, which would be to allow yourself to be able to visualize. And if you would like to soft gaze or close your eyes for that, that helps you go into the subconscious and bring up a memory of a tree, a favorite tree that you remember that you really felt connected to. And it could be something from long ago or something that you see daily, or you could use an imaginary tree if you like. So it might be good to mute Raksha. Yeah, that way you can feel at ease about whatever you need to do. So when you find your tree, have that connection with the tree. See it. What color is it? Does it have leaves? How are the branches? How big is the trunk? And you can imagine how the bark feels, how the surface of the tree feels. And maybe even that it has ancient memories. And if you're standing by your tree, the roots go underground as far out as the branches go out. So you're being fed from the field of the tree from below you and above you. And so you could settle down and you could be in the presence of that tree, you could keep that presence with you. And then we would journey from the tree as a starting place. And we can begin with the first of the breath patterns, which is the earth breath, because you are on earth, you are earth. And that is in through the nose and out through the nose. And do it at your own rate of speed 5 times. Raksha, if you can't do that physically, just imagine that you're doing it easily, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And imagine, besides maybe being in the presence of a tree, you are in a protected outdoor space. And maybe you could journey from that earth place to a different earth place where you might be in a garden or a forest. And feel the earth's energy under your feet. And fill in the scene with as much lush vegetation that you would like. And life all around you while you continue that in through the nose and out through the nose. And then we'll move along to the water, in through the nose and out through the mouth 5 times at a relaxed pace. No need to count. Just allow that to happen. In through the nose and out through the mouth. At least 5 times. As we imagine that you are near a river or a waterfall. Maybe you're by a pond or at the ocean front. Or maybe just a small little stream. In your mind's eye, allow yourself to enter the water however it would be, feeling safe for you. So you'd want to have at least a barefoot contact with the water. You may feel the water flowing between your toes, around your feet. And if you're by an area where you could actually go into the water and immerse yourself and feel totally at the waters around you, rinsing away any negative emotions you may have felt today or in your life recently. It's kind of clearing and washing you away. This breath is a cleansing breath. And then we'll move to the next element, the element of fire. Fire is warm and warming. And that is, as we mentioned, in through the mouth and out the nose like a dragon breathes. Doing that at least 5 times at your own rate of speed, as you are able. And pretend you're watching a fire burn, perhaps a small fire like a candle flame, or maybe a bonfire outside. Maybe it's a ceremonial fire. And see the flames leap up into the air as the fuel in the form of wax or wood changes into ash. The colors, orange, yellow, red, and if the flame is hot enough, you may see blue flame. Let all of your frustrations and challenges and stressors, whatever they might be, poured into the fire. Just letting go, whatever it is. seeing it be changed and transformed, just as a wooden log would be transformed into something harmless, powerless, and into ash that floats into the air. This breath can energize, warm, and transform. And moving to the next element, the element of air, that would be the place of where the wind comes. In through the mouth and out through the mouth 5 times, easily and slowly, however it works for you. Just as you sometimes experience Mother Earth breathing as a breeze on your face. Imagine you are floating up into the air. Maybe you're on a cloud, a puffy white cloud. Maybe you choose a magic carpet or the wings of a bird. Let yourself go up higher and higher, feeling safe, ready to safely explore a higher dimension in which you can look down and get perspective on what is below you. Feel the expanse of space and a sense of freedom. A little exploration. A new way of seeing. And then allowing your breath to be as easy and normal as usual. No need to count breaths. No need to decide how you breathe. And to stay in this exploration a little while longer, we can imagine that we're going to move up above the earth into outer space. Exploring maybe into the solar system. You may see a planet moving. You may see stars closer. You may see a swirling nebula. You may become more intimate with the Southern Cross or the Milky Way. And maybe out there, you can have connection with a dear loved one, a spiritual being, or an angel, or any other creature. You might even want to ask a question while you're out there, where all knowledge exists, the universal mind, the eternal mind. And allow yourself to receive perhaps an insight or a word or a concept or an image. Maybe something that had been out of reach is now close. And when you have received something, maybe it's fulfilled a yearning or an asking, a need that you may have had, just allow yourself to feel a little gravitational pull, a little begging to return, coming back to earth, floating down on your vehicle. And when you come down through the atmosphere, your tree will be there. You can see the tree come down slowly through the leaves and branches, safely and easily, coming down where you began, in that space, that protective field of the tree, in that cocoon of energy that feels like home. And feel your feet on the earth. Feel your breath within the body. It's a constant companion. Home with your breath. There's no place like the breath. It is your life. And when you feel like you would like to re-enter, feel the surface that has been supporting you with gratitude. Connecting with the energy of the space where you started today. And begin to move your fingers and toes, stretch your arms out in your own space. And just when you'd like to return to this group that is gathered, you can open your eyes. Gratitude for the ability to travel and journey with your breath. You have landed like the astronauts returning. Glad to find something familiar, landmark in your space. You may want to reach out and touch something around you. Put your hands on the physical elements. This was shared with me by a friend who is crossed over. And I don't know if she put this together on her own or if she learned it from someone else. I do know that she used to study with Sufi methods and was part of a Sufi group. I don't know if that is anything she got there. I just know she shared this with me. And I thought it was a really lovely gift and an awesome practice.
Thank you for sharing that. Any reflections from the experience? It was really useful for me. I was seeing my home space I have in mind. There's a beautiful fig tree right outside the space, and I have to go and talk to the people and open up the way. It's sitting there waiting. Really just for the relationships, and that's good. A good way to flow. So I had a beautiful experience of anchoring that space in the tree's energy and using.
Yeah, and if you have a chance, you can go out there and spend some time.
I am going to, yeah,
Put
and
your
close
arms around the
close where I
tree.
am now, yeah.
Yeah.
So where I'm staying now, it's not too far from that, and at a friend's guest house here by the beach for a while. And yeah, we're also doing some healing work together, so we have some time to live into that. And I'm so grateful for this gathering here in this space as well, and the deepening of our peer learning space. I think it would be, I did some mind mapping and shaping of some of the bigger ecosystem of projects and visions that I'm a part of. And I felt into this weekly practice, would love to also future from keep this as a public space for us to come and give our offering of our own beings to the shifting of the earth consciousness. As you know, we can come in this way and to one another gift a gift of a practice that can assist in grounding ourselves, like Mary has just shared, as it naturally flowed. We can, take turns or each share something in and come and bring this into the collective re-envisioning of the earth to do the intention activation as we've been doing it.
I like how it organically came, just like our last session. Raksha was saying that she needed to warm up. And I was offering her that idea, and then it just happened. I would like to hear if anybody else wanted to share about their experience.
Yeah.
Did you go to sleep or did you go out into outer space or what happened? Everybody's quiet.
I'm trying to talk, but I see I've got the wrong microphone on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. The first memory I was taken to when you mentioned the tree, there were probably about 1,000 other trees I could have thought of, but the first one that came to mind was my childhood avocado pear tree. There were 3 next to one another in the backyard and 1 in the front yard. But the one that stood out was the one in the backyard, which I, as a child, used to climb up and go and pick avos. And I remember my dad had created this special stick with like a metal a stick with the like a net, and it's got a hook on the front, and we used to hook the avos on the furthest point and pull them down. But in my whole experience, I I was standing more admiring the tree, not picking avos, admiring the fruits of the tree and seeing the confined space that these fruits were being born. And no one was there except myself. I was alone in my childhood days at that tree. And I remember one of the very first hypnosis sessions I did with when I met this girl, which became my wife. She was qualified hypnotherapist, and she took me through this session of hypnosis, and she could explain through what I was telling her exactly what I was experiencing through my memories. So that anyway, it took me back to that time as I was probably between the age of 12 and 16 years old during that session.
I was laughing because I also had taken first to the avocado tree in my backyard. And I never enjoyed the avocados from until the day it fell. And then I thought, I'll try avocados again. As a child, I'd said I don't want them. And then I thought, oh, no, actually, they're very nice once the avocado tree fell. Thanks for sharing that, Rael.
I've just got a few words, bits and pieces. I'm a bit distracted. My mum went into hospital on Saturday, and I've been involved ever since in the logistics and backwards and forwards, and she was having seizures. And that first day on Saturday, this is where, as this meditation went, I had to also, at some point, I had to go and check that I turned the stove off, the gas fire. That's why I rushed off. And then I came back. But so I went into I was in this MRI with my mother, this massive kind of room with this machine that was like making a hell of a noise. And they'd asked me to sit in there so that I could watch her vital statistics. And I was watching her breath when you were talking about breath, Mary, all the time. It was all about breath, and that breath is life. And how and I was watching my mother's breathing. That was what I did for an hour in that MRI machine, because their vital stats machine wasn't working so well. So I was the one who, if there was any no more breath, or if there was any disturbance, I had to squeeze something, and that would stop the whole system. So I went into that space through the meditation again, and just the thought of, and I couldn't go anywhere cosmic, because it's all about being right here in the physical. I needed to ground, and and it's about the physical body, and it's ashes to ashes, and all this kind of dust to dust, and so it's we don't know. She hasn't. I've been there 3 days, but I haven't heard it. She hasn't had any action. No speaking, no nothing. But they have. I think they have seen her being a little bit. They drugged her a lot as well. Anyway, so that was just my input in relation to the meditation, which is, I know, not quite what was hopeful, but also I'm not good at following doing guided meditations. I can't visualize, so I just have to journey in another way. So I just follow whatever happens, because I can't really follow the images that I need. I did have an image of right in the beginning, just this tree, but I could only see this massive trunk, and I knew that it had a big top, and so very dark, and I was in front. I was just this shadowy, pale figure, and I felt very content and very held and very. So that was the tree that was there for me. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that very sacred and challenging time that you're going through with your mom. Through the body, it awakens different parts of ourselves.
Yeah, for me, guys, I'm like the first time I did this meditation with Mary, I'm totally zoned out. The first time I couldn't speak. Even now I'm struggling. I'm very grateful that I can visualize quite well. And where I can't visualize, I can feel the wings of an eagle soaring high up above the earth. And I just didn't want to come back, and I still don't want to come back from outer space. I'm happy to stay there. That's me.
Maybe we should go back there and ask for the guidance to find what the intention activation needs to be for for the earth right now.
Yeah, we need a little more time out there. Yeah, maybe you could continue with them.
Well,
Good idea.
is there any suggestions from our current disposition, whether grounded or spaced out, that we might want to share some intentions that we feel is on our hearts? Right.
One thing that I would say is I love the going into space, because there's so much that's trying to pull us down to earth. I want to go into the flat earth theory and all the stuff that's beyond the ice wall and all of that, but I like to refer back to the book of Job, where Job and his friends are having this argument, this reasoning with each other. And everything is just pulling them down to earth and earth and earth and all the dirt and the sin and everything that's related to that. And then after, on like 39 chapters later, then God steps in and he says, do you understand the Pleiades constellation and the movement thereof? I can read it if I got it in front of me. Do you understand Orion and the way he starts talking about outer space to those people? We think we know sometimes so much, and then we need to just pause like we're doing in this session. Pause and travel out there and look at those stars and those constellations, because those constellations are mentioned even in the book of Revelation. He talks about the 7 stars of the 7 angels, and each star represented an angel, and it was the same constellation of Pleiades it's referring to. Because if you read where those towns are in the precise layout of the Pleiades. So in heaven, so on earth. So that's another conversation for another day, but I just like the going into outer space part. Thank you.
I've been looking into the principle of microcosm, macrocosm for a very long time now, but it's come up again. Let's feel into our bodies with that a little bit. And I think just we can take the last 10 minutes we have of the meeting time and just I'll guide us on an intuitive practice using the vocal somatic resonance techniques, some outer space time. And let's just feel into what we would like to anchor in through the guided practice session, shall we? Each one of us knows what arises for us is right and aligned. So take a moment and settle into your seat as you're positioned, or feel free to move as you want to, unwinding tensions with shaking or patting, stroking. Helps to activate the body. Can activate the body even while traveling to outer space in the mind and the feeling, expanding while also staying embodied. It means we get to really calibrate the body to greater capacity of activation and alignment and connectedness. So Keep your body alive and bring your eyes to center, gently upwards. If you feel tensions pulling them off to either side, just bring yourself back to a nice balance. And let's gather the breath with the in-breath through the nostrils, breathing in halfway, pausing, and then breathing in all the way to the fullest capacity of the lungs and sighing out. Feeling the vibrations of the sigh. Again, let's do another in-breath halfway in through the nostrils and pause. Relax the belly as you breathe in all the way. And sighing out. Do another one, half a breath in and pause. And all the way in. And sighing. Now come into your natural rhythm of breathing in through the nostrils and humming out. You may experiment with open mouth on the out breath or out the nose. But just breathe in through the nostrils so as to get the nitric oxide that is getting generated in the nose. Find your own rhythm, relaxing the belly and the in-breath, expanding, balancing. Feeling the vibration moving through. The voice relaxing, just humming into the body. And with that, we know that sound carries intention. And as the microcosm of the body reflects the macrocosm of the cosmos, so by toning into the body, we get to shift. So whatever you're feeling right now in your being, in your body, it's perfect. Just work with that. Be kind, be gentle. Try to breathe in through your nostrils. If it's difficult, just breathe as is easiest. Finding a flow, just feeling some kind of vibration moving into the body. And now breathing into the heart. Take your focus into the heart center. You may want to place your hands on the heart. Feel the rising and falling of the chest. And it's just an awareness here. In breath into the heart, lungs hugging the heart. Humming, feeling that glowing that comes from applied attention. And let's also activate some gratitude. You can again take yourself to your tree or take yourself to a beautiful environment that nourishes you, where it's effortless to flow in care for others as they care for you. You're breathing into your heart. Become grateful in yourself of all that you may find the mind to attach to as a gratitude activator, just for a moment, and then letting it go, letting the feeling be stoked. And stoking it to grow from the heart. Warmth. You need to unwind any tensions. Expanding through the body, humming into the bones. And let's expand the gratitude through the building you're in. And out through the neighborhood. And then out to the bioregion. Feeling into the elements as we also activated through the breath earlier. As we now expand even from the bioregion out into the planetary wholeness, feeling into the elements of the air. As you're breathing it in through the nostrils, if you can, and humming, and through the earth. Just recognizing, feeling into the earth, what that brings to mind for you, feeling into your location where you're situated, groundedness beneath you, feeling into the fire. And into the waters. And let's ask the earth now, as we're in this expanded sense of presence, in this essence of gratitude. What do you most need? Feeling what arises for you as an answer. To hum into that, and as if humming into the earth, stoke that intention into the earth to see it already done. Holding that intention, and as you stoke that, see that intention come alive as a reality already achieved. Feel the gratitude that arises with that, and stoke that to expand now into outer space. Centering the being, the body, the breath, the eyes. Feeling the vibration of the humming in the body. And seeing or feeling or intending, sensing what the earth most needs is being received. You might want to attach this to what you feel you really need, and that is perfectly fine as you are part of the earth. So start that receiving and feel it expand to outer space and through the cosmos, through the galaxies, and through the great mystery, the time-space continuum. So much is to be revealed to our awareness of how it truly is, and how it truly is in us as we are in it. Feel the body, feel the breath, feel the hum. Centering and aligning. Feel the breath coming into the body and the humming moving through the body. Feeling yourself in a reality of that transition already achieved. The earth having received that gift, the blessing that you're bringing it today in your intention activation. And collectively in our circle, as we breathe in, let's bring our awareness back into our solar system around us. We're all on the planet Earth here. Feel ourselves. This world we are in. That which we can know with our senses. that which is a part of us in the earth. Bring yourself back into the atmosphere, breathing the air, feeling the groundedness beneath you, and feeling, again, this whole earth already receiving that transition. Bring yourself, your awareness back into the bioregion you're in. Seeing it activated here in your bioregion where you find yourself, seeing that intention being realized. And contracting into a smaller space with the in-breath, into your neighborhood, people and places you frequent. Seeing that change being so. And holding space for your experience, to feel the body humming, patting, stroking, shaking. Come back into present awareness here in your home. Breathing in and contracting the field of your focus and humming into the building and contracting to the airspace around the body and into the body itself and feeling the hum. Feel yourself in your presence, in your full embodiment here now, in the reality that you're activating. And breathe into the chest, into the heart, humming into the whole chest. Feel the warmth of gratitude that this is so. You are in that timeline now, and breathe into the heart. Anchor it in with a hum into your heart, and opening up to the circle. And you feel ready to imagine yourself taking hands with the others and in warmth and appreciation for us bringing our consciousnesses together to form a bigger vision of the puzzle of what is needed. Hold ourselves and one another in this process of activating that, choosing that, embodying that. Take some time now and just feel in silent breathing, regular as you feel your flow. Come into full awareness and integrate the experience of this practice, and even hearing the guidance that comes as you continue from this point on to act in accordance with this activation. Do what your hand finds to do when you see that possibility to activate it. Open that possibility up for yourself or for others through your actions, choices, or alignments, thought, and choice of perspective. You need to get your body more alive again in the present embodiment here, just from squeezing of the muscles and relaxing, and also some patting and stroking. Anybody would like to share what you felt and were guided to activate, I invite that. Just to mention, in terms of the time, we have already gone a bit over 7 minutes past 7. If anybody does need to go, appreciate your time and presence. I had a lovely intention. Nikki, would you like to share first? We're about to, love to hear.
No, you go for it. Go for it. You got there first.
Well, I just had a thought of the some of the things I was looking into today. There was a graph about regenerative investment and the scale of investment from extractivist to regenerative, and so somehow it just popped up for me that what the world needs now is the application of capital to regenerative investment only. So I was practical envisioning that could make a lot of change. And I thought of you, Nikki, as well, because of course, the need directs our flow, and these things of caring for the rites of passage, the vulnerable, is something that really deserves more funding and support for really wholesome ways of caring for our beloveds when they're passing, and same way for other vulnerable individuals, mothers and children, the sick, and also people when we're moving through rites of passage.
I hope she's not leaving right now.
It's a rite of passage for one
No, saying
means or another. It's a process that you're going through. Yeah, I hope so too, Nikki.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. We're trying to. We're consulting, and there's a big swell amongst all of us that she must come out of hospital. We must take her out, and I can sign her out. And
yes.
And that she because I'm so pissed off with him after just like, well, anyway, it's a long story, but yeah. But the two things I was going to say when we were talking about the sort of thing was about what does the earth need? What does the earth need? And the first one was care is what came up. Just care. And then when you said and what you need as well, because you're part of the earth, and that was fine. It worked for me too. And the other one was respect. Just care and respect for the earth and for everyone and everything. Because those two cover everything, I think, for me. They cover exactly what you've said, but you were more tangible in the detail, but it's covered by these two general ideas. I think.
Comes down to that. It does come down to care.
And respect.
Respect, yes. Any other shares?
Yep. Others.
I was reminded how much humming is so grounding. And I need something to remind me to do that, because I forget that I can do that. So I have on a quest to find a way to cue myself into humming. So I know I'm going to soon be on an airplane, a long flight, a couple flights actually. So my intention is to ride that wave, in the present moment, with each moment of that long travel time. It's probably about from leaving the house to arriving at another house, probably about 24 hours. So I want to stay in the moment and just be present and meticulous self-care in those moments so that my body feels as best as possible during that time. And certainly the hum of the motor of that long, it's going to really help me to remember to hum, because it will be humming for me. I'll be in a capsule, in a humming capsule. And I'm going to think about it that way, as the protective, humming capsule. And Nikki, I want to say, your energy is so attached to your mom right now, that there's those lines of energy that are so needed to hold her, that you are holding her. And that's, we all in a place every moment doing what we need to do at the utmost. And when you are preoccupied with the fear of what's going to happen to her and with her and for her, if that is taking your energy to that job of holding her energetically very, very close. And so it's no doubt that you couldn't follow too much of the imagery, but I love how you came at the end with that beautiful description of that energy of that tree that came for you. And that, to me, is like that safe, living, grounded, centered enclosure that we can crawl into, that is like a cave, but only it's living, because it's breathing. And breathing with the tree is just so fundamental. Sharing the cycle of breath, because you're giving off carbon dioxide with your breath that the tree needs, and the tree is giving you back oxygen. So as you inhale and exhale, it's such a breath cycle experience, and when you're holding the tree, I was doing that the other day, just to remind myself. So I found the biggest tree out there in my little wooded area, and I put my arms around it, and it was a pine tree, so it had a coarse bark on it, and I could actually get my fingers in the crevices of the cracks in the bark. So really, I was really holding in the tree and around the tree. And as I put my forehead on the tree and I felt the bark, and I put my chest on the tree, and I put my belly on the tree, and my feet were on the ground, I began to feel and see in my mind's eye a spark of, like a star in my forehead, like we had made contact. And then I felt it at my chakra points going all the way down. And I just was observing this. I was not expecting. I was just trying to be in that moment with the tree. And I just felt so regenerated. You're talking about regenerative things with the earth, America, and going from extractionist to regenerative. That is really it. And that is about care. That is about understanding. It's a primal understanding. And if everybody out there is so distracted with stress and traumas, you're not in your body. You're not thinking correctly, because you're obsessed with what it is, holding on to something, and maybe even feeding yourself caffeine or nicotine or alcohol. You're not on the earth. And everybody just needs to get on the earth, put their feet on the earth. And the kids are having, the last thing I'll say, the kids now, it seems like this Gen X or Z or Y or whatever it is, are using this phrase, man, you need to touch grass. I don't know if it's over there in where you are or not. Oh, but it's touching the earth. In other words, dude, get a hold of yourself. Touch grass. In other words, touch the ground. You need to do that. And I love that. There's somewhere there's this realization that you're out of control.
Yeah.
And without telling them something like, get control of yourself, touch grass, saying something positive that everybody understands. It's like, yeah, let's all touch grass.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's intrinsic and it's so simple, actually, what we need. It is critical. Many people don't ground themselves necessarily. I think that makes a big difference.
You first have to have that experience, and every child is, if they're allowed to be outside, knows about trees. They know about trees. So you have to draw on something that everybody knows to help them get back on the ground.
Mm.
And that's one thing that most of us know. Now, there are children, I'm sure, some places that don't know about trees. You know, they know about something else. Maybe the rock, the rock or the sand. They know, or the water. They know something if they've been allowed to be outside at all. Or they've read stories or seen pictures. So there is some context for something, surely.
Yeah. Sure. Very important. Anybody else want to share your activation intention?
I just want to thank Mary quickly for your care and respect regarding my mom and me.
I understand. I've been there, and I have the capacity to feel for knowing that experience, and also nursing in hospice and nursing the elderly. I understand that, and that is, as you say, Marica, it's something so needed to value life at every single stage and for every breath that we're allowed to have and to share with each other. It's so important.
I do work as a hospice volunteer. We have a daycare, and it's actually tomorrow. And I was just sending a message saying, my mom's in hospital, I might not make it, but I might be able to if you need me. So I'm kind of, I'm there as well. And so it makes it easier for me because I've been there around that a lot.
And they'll understand more than anyone if you
Oh,
can't
yeah.
be there.
Oh, yeah. But Rahul was going to say something there. I think when I
yes, Nikki. Yeah, I'm busy absorbing everything that's happening, like the rain that's descending on dry soil at the moment. So that's why I just waited my turn. It was something that that came up this weekend, which is totally in line with what's happening here. And I'm going to share the video after the call, but the highlights came very interestingly to me because this guy investigated what the source of all success in life was, and he said it all starts at the 6 inches of your throat, your voice. And the first thing he mentioned was the Egyptian word called Heka. And Heka means magic through speech. It's an English word. In the English, there's no real translation through it, but it actually means creative utterance. So what America is teaching us is intention through using the voice. And he uses 4 civilizations to explain this in pretty much a lot of detail. But during that video, I got pretty excited to actually share this with you because it actually makes us think twice about what comes out of our throats, what comes out of our beings. Because Christ said, what defiles us is what comes out of our mouth, not what goes into our bodies. And what comes out of our intentions in our throats, we have to be careful saying negative things about ourselves. So all of these practices are helping us take us away from, as you ladies have said, what's going on in your mind that's making you float around and get lost in time, but come down to earth. So I think one of the things that Mary also told us earlier is put your feet on the ground. Make sure that your feet are on the ground before you do your meditation. And then once you're touching the ground, and yeah, I've got shoes on while I'm doing this, I should have them off. There shouldn't be any shoes on your feet, although it's cold in the winter. But this video made me realize again how important, if we read Genesis 1 verse 1 and we read John 1 verse 1, how that everything came through speech, through the voice, through the intentions. And this word heka, I got a very interesting response on ChatGPT on how it explains that ancient belief systems actually believe that everything came not through hands but through voice, everything that was created. So that's just I'm going to share the video later.
This might just be the way the natural system creates, and we can and our consciousness combine to create. That is most of that which is most aligned. Sure. Thank you for the co-creation, everybody. Are there any more pressing things anybody would love to share to the group? Experience from the practice. If anybody, if guys would like to share, no pressure. Okay, well, there's nothing on your minds. I'd love us to just close up and feel into the week ahead for ourselves in a moment. Couldn't believe it was Monday already when I came to this time, because it's like, whoa, what? Because I've been moving around. It's been like, where was I last Monday? Trying to remember. So yeah, but look forward to everybody returning. I pray next week as we can. All the best for your movements. And I'd like to invite anybody who'd like to join in the mornings. Gail and I are gathering most mornings at 5 to 6. Is that right? No, 6 to 7 a.m. And I'd like to look into at least 1 or 2 days of that, changing the timing to an afternoon session, so that we can do the people on the other side of the planet that are very much asleep at those times. But we'll work that out, and I just invite you to speak to me if you'd like to do more regular daily practices. opening it to just seeing in a reciprocity what we can share, what you have to share for joining the sessions, and we can move through that together in conversation. So please reach out. Thank you, everybody, for this time. Sticking around for the extension of it. It's lovely to have our circle starting and closing together. Thank you. Your blessings for the rest of the day.
Freely through the space that's
Stay.
all over Page River. Sing a song in our hearts. In our hearts.